सर नहीं अलग से सी ये जो बुक है ये नीचे आपको ऑर्गेनाइजेशन वाइज जब आपको अभी एनुअल रिपोर्ट आरपीडब्ल्यूडी एक्ट और ये बुक दिया हुआ है कितने ये एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को एक मिलेगा, हर पेरेंट के लिए नहीं है, इंडिविजुअल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए है। कितने लोगों को लिया है, कितने लोगों ने वो हाँ जिन को मिला है यस क्योंकि सिग्नेचर किया है नीचे काफी लोगों ने, आई थिंक बहुत सारे लोग हैं बिकॉज वी हैव गिवन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन वाइज। हाँ अभी जिनको नहीं मिला है जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से लिंक्ड है प्लीज रेज योर हैंड्स। ओके गो एंड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन प्लीज हाँ ओनली एंड वन फ्रॉम वन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन so that everybody can take advantage of this book. Okay, raise your hand. One book organization wise we are providing one book, so Lakshmi ji ko dijiye, please take one from the organization wise. Take this you take this organization wise please cooperate in this. ऑर्गेनाइजेशन वाइज एक एक बुक ले लीजिए, बुक्स बहुत सारी है, प्लीज लिसन टू मी, हमारे पास मोर देन 200 बुक्स है अभी, सो नथिंग टू वरी, अभी यहाँ नहीं भी मिल रही है तो नीचे मिल जाएगी, ओके, सो डोंट वरी, सॉरी, वो आपको नीचे सिग्नेचर करना है, द एनुअल रिपोर्ट व्हिच वी आर गिविंग टू द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन we want the signature, so whenever you are going down जब नीचे जाएं, आपने अगर अपनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की बुक नहीं ली है, एनुअल रिपोर्ट आरपीडब्ल्यूडी एक्ट, प्लीज साइन एंड कलेक्ट योर कॉपी। और है वो हाँ
हेलो, जिसको भी बुक चाहिए वो नीचे जाके ले,
अभी बाद में ले लीजिएगा। अभी आप नीचे जाएंगे, नीचे बुक्स हैं, आप सिग्नेचर करिएगा, एनुअल रिपोर्ट भी कलेक्ट करिए, आरपीडब्ल्यूडी एक्ट की कॉपी एंड दिस बुक का कॉपी, और जिन्होंने अभी ले लिया है वो भी जब जाएंगे तो एनुअल रिपोर्ट भी कलेक्ट कर लें और सिग्नेचर करें, ओके। Thank you.
कितना टाइम लेंगे? 5 मिनट? हाँ प्लीज।
मैं I'll not go into them.
Yeah.
I'll say ये फैसिलिटीज हैं, ये सानिध्य है, इसको कॉपी करो। 2 मिनट। I'll talk from here.
सर को दे। हाँ sure yes.
इसको YouTube में करता हूँ, वो रह गया थोड़ा बहुत आपका क्वेश्चन, इसको YouTube में कर लेता हूँ, उस टाइम रह गया थोड़ा बहुत क्वेश्चन।
ई सानिध्य
हाँ जो पूरा बता रहे।
हाँ सर फिर आप ऊपर जाइए, YouTube पे आ जाएगा तो परमानेंट हो जाएगा, इट्स लाइव। नहीं किया, हम तो बंद करेंगे। वैसे को पूछो। हर चीज के लिए मुझे मत करो।
Hello. To chair this current session, we request सुधाकर पिल्लई सर, आप आइए जरा स्टेज पे। ये सेशन चेयर करने के लिए हम लोग इनवाइट कर रहे हैं टेक्निकल एडवाइजर साउथ जोन सुधाकर जी पिल्लई। सुधाकर जी हॉल में है, आई थिंक शायद नहीं है। I would then request Mr. Jamil from Nagaland, you come please and chair this session. Mr. Jamil from Nagaland. जमीर
अच्छा, अभी मैं ई सानिध्य के बारे में बता रहा था, कुछ एक लोग क्लैरिफिकेशन मांग रहे हैं। ये है उसका सॉफ्टवेयर, थोड़ा इसके नीचे जाते रहना। देखिए, इसमें हर एक अलग अलग तरीके के इसमें सर्विसेज हैं। इसमें नीचे आइए, इसमें आप जैसे देख रहे हैं यहाँ पे वीडियो कंसल्टेशन है, ऑनलाइन असेसमेंट है, फोन कंसल्टेशन एफएक्यू है, एंड इसमें डांस एंड म्यूजिक थेरेपी के भी है, एंड इसमें जो वेबिनार्स जो ऑलरेडी हुए हैं उसका कोई वीडियोस होंगे, एंड इंश्योरेंस एंड गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स, क्या क्या स्कीम्स है अलग अलग दिव्यांग के लिए, व्हाट आर द स्कीम्स ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट आर देयर, दैट इज आल्सो देयर, and then you can see that home care videos, like for parents, especially for therapeutic, there are some home care videos also for different types of intervention required, and then also and the last is, see what we have done is we have mapped all the nearest पीछे जाओ पीछे जाओ। अब देखिए लास्ट वाला जो है नियरेस्ट केयर सेंटर्स, सपोज सम पेरेंट्स वांट टू फाइंड, सी एवरीबॉडी कांट कम टू एवरीवेयर, so if you type your place and the nearest care center also, it gives us the details. So it is actually a multifaceted tool actually, and this will be more useful in places where there are no services and where there are no therapists. Okay, तो इसको थोड़ा हिंदी में आप लोग इसका साइट e-सानिध्य है, e-सानिध्य.com, इसको करेंगे तो इसको इस्तेमाल होगा, एंड स्पेशली जैसा भी मैडम कह रही थी, शी इज अ साइकोलॉजिस्ट इन अ रेगुलर स्कूल, सो वहां पे इंक्लूसिव टीचर्स उनके लिए जो ऑनलाइन स्क्रीनिंग करना है और उनके स्कूल में, एंड इसका वेरी सिंपल है, वंस यू लॉग इन, यू गिव योर फोन नंबर, यू गेट एन ओटीपी, गिव द ओटीपी एंड दैट्स इट, यू आर लॉग्ड इन and you can use all these services. The login and registration is also very simple in this.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for the excellent initiative taken by the NIEPID. I would request Commander Bijur to resume this session. Yes. Mr. Sudhakar Pillai is there, or Mr. Jameer is there. You are requested to come on the dais.
Just on the way. On the way. He's just coming.
And one Bengal team, self-advocate. अतुल कुमार फ्रॉम लखनऊ से जो आए हैं, अतुल जी आए अतुल।
समीर को बुलाओ।
अतुल, maybe you can start.
Namaskar and good afternoon everyone. Please reciprocate कीजिए, नमस्कार, जय हिंद, ग्रेट, थैंक यू। आज जो हम बात करने जा रहे हैं अबाउट रेजिडेंशियल सेंटर, तो मुझे लगता है ये एक जो पेरेंट्स हैं उनके लिए बहुत बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक है। हर पेरेंट जो भी जिसके भी बच्चे जैसे भी बढ़ते रहते हैं 18, 19, 20 साल के ऊपर होने के बाद, एंड व्हेन द पेरेंट्स एज, one of the biggest worry for a parent is that what will happen to my son or daughter after me, because at this stage government doesn't provide any social net for that person with the disability, person with intellectual disability or autism to be on his own or live independently. That safety net has not yet come in India. So uske liye the parents have this worry. So today I am going to talk about entirely about the residential center and also what kind of residential center should be there, what should be the quality attributes which should go into a residential center to make it a good center where my son or my daughter can go and live comfortably. Now first I want to know here, how many are parents here? Just raise your hand please. Oh, I see at least 80% are parents. तो अभी मुझे ये बताइए कि आप में से किस किस को जीते जागते मोक्ष चाहिए? आप सब मोक्ष को समझते हैं? मोक्ष is heaven. Who wants to achieve heaven in his lifetime? All of us. But for parents there is one condition. There is a good saying which they say, यदि जान के होते हुए हमारी सब जरूरतें पूरी हो जाएं तो जिंदगी ही मोक्ष बन जाता है. I firmly believe in that. पर जो पेरेंट्स है उनकी एक चाह तो रह जाती है, वही कि मेरे बाद मेरे बच्चे का कौन देखभाल करेगा, कहाँ देखभाल होगी. तो उनको वो मोक्ष एटलीस्ट जीते जी तो नहीं मिलेगा. तो उसी के करके आज जो हम यहाँ पे बात कर रहे हैं, it will give us a living moksha, living heaven both for us as parents and also for our children who may have to stay in a residential center or in a group home. And what I'm going to talk here is absolute general wisdom which has emerged from the parents itself. Nobody knows our requirement more than us. Nobody knows our requirement or my son or daughter's requirement more than us. So whatever I'm going to talk about here comes out of that wisdom. बट बिफोर कहते हैं ना, शादी जब होती है, आजकल जब शादी होनी होती है तो उससे पहले रस्में होती हैं, जैसे एंगेजमेंट, जैसे मेहंदी सेरेमनी. तो अभी पहले थोड़ी सी वो मेहंदी सेरेमनी कर लेते हैं यहाँ पे. फर्स्ट लेट मी इंट्रोड्यूस उस सेरेमनी में कि रेजिडेंशियल सेंटर कैसे कैसे होने चाहिए और कैसे हो सकते हैं. द मॉडल्स ऑफ रेजिडेंशियल सेंटर्स. द फर्स्ट एंड द फॉरमोस्ट मॉडल विच वी ऑल नो is about the normal residential center where generally they will have 1, 2, 3, 4 or 6 persons staying in a room, big enough room, and they will have some facilities. They will have a kitchen, dining hall and many such facilities. The better one among them may have even the swimming pool, good garden and all such things. So I can say that these residential centers, which are classical residential centers, can be categorized in terms of cluster, in terms of their gender. कुछ residential center ऐसे भी हैं जहाँ पे only women are staying, men are not staying there. Then some residential centers can be categorized as to be very high costing. There are residential centers which cost 70,000 to 1 lakh rupees. The other ones are there, middle ones are there, which are, let's say, between 15,000 to 30,000 rupees or 40,000 rupees per month I'm talking about. And of course, there are ones who are less than that. So we can categorize in that sense. And we can also categorize in the terms of facilities. Like I said, some of them have got garden, open areas, maybe gym, maybe swimming pool, maybe AC totally. So all such facilities could be there, and also the other facilities which are essential. Essential one I call it as something called vocational training center where the persons remain occupied. Then the second type is where we say group homes. Now in group homes, again, it's basically a home with 2, 3, 4 bedrooms, such kind of cluster hota hai unka, and many residential centers are operating in that form. Especially like in Nasik, there is one where only the women are staying in a group home of about 6 bedrooms, along with rest everything like a home. Now these new type of group homes are mostly coming in India at least as a cluster unit, because what we already found is that minimum 20 persons are required for a residential center or a group home to operate efficiently. Otherwise, the overheads become too much. So, वैसे group homes हैं, and then there is something called integrated stay, which is now becoming common. It's coming up in last 5, 6, 10 years, where the parents also stay. Along with them, there is a residential stay facility for the children. Kerala mein, I think Nishchintam is one of the good example. In Maharashtra, many of them are coming, and similarly in many states, these are coming now. These are typically where the parents buy flats. Along with those flats, the builder also builds some common unit, and in that common unit they will have some residential facilities, so that when the parents are no more, the children can come and stay there. Plus they will have, let's say, occupation therapy center. They may have even a swimming pool. They may have something like a vocational training center. So those are the common facilities, and around that the parents stay, either they stay in their own bungalows or in the blocks. So that is another type of residential center. And the last one which I am talking about is own home stay. Now this has not yet taken off in India, where my son continues to stay in my house after I am no more, or after the parents are no more, but he is being provided services. It is the guaranteed services being provided to him in that home. It has started in a very limited way. In Pune, I know there are at least 8 or 10 families who have signed off, saying that our house after us, it can accommodate 2 more persons. That means 1 person plus 2 from outside. 3 persons can stay in this house because they got 3 bedrooms. And one residential center, which is located about 10 kilometers from there, they will provide services to these people. So that's kind of facility which is coming up. But the best way would be when we have these bureaus. Like today we have bureaus who can provide you helps or the supports or caregivers for senior citizens in their home. So similar caregivers, if they are trained and they are available for providing in the residential center where the person is staying, and of course there is a guardian who takes care of his other affairs. So these are the kind of models which are available. All models are good based on both income, circumstances, cities. There are many factors. I won't say which model is good, which model is not so good. The top one, the first one, has proved to be a very reliable model, at least till date in India. And like in Maharashtra, there are 18 such residential centers from the government also, where mostly persons with intellectual disability who are vagabond or who are without parents and all, without anybody to look after, they come and stay there. Now, what are the standards required? Now, whichever may be type of the residential center, but what is the basic standard which we require, which the parents would have it in mind? Naturally, the first is that health, safety, and good quality of life. I think every parent requires, in fact, every parent feels that whatever quality is getting today, he should get the same quality when he moves into a residential center also. And the second one is uniformity, transparency for the parents. Say that, okay, we are providing this facility, and the visit he sees good facilities. The parents want to see that it is operating in the normal course also. Because the way we operate in today's world, it is quite possible that they may be taken for a ride. So they want a transparency in the affairs of the residential center. And third is continuity and improvement. Now we have seen बहुत ऐसे residential center देखे हैं नए जो आ रहे हैं, who say कि यदि आपका बच्चा बीमार हो गया, ये हो गया, वो हो गया, तो उसको आप घर लेके जाइए. Now what will happen when the parents are not there? So that is just not acceptable. Any residential center which says that with so and so condition, you have to take back your son or daughter who is admitted there, that center is not satisfying the basic need of the parent. The basic need will arise when the parents are no more. Who will take care of that person? So that's something very important and the primemost requirement of the parent. And finally, man-made and natural disasters. We have seen in COVID, many residential centers have closed down. I think in Calcutta also, I was hearing other day, one center, you were operating a center before COVID, but after COVID, it has not operated. Now, what will happen to the persons who are not having their parents? Where will they go? Now, if the parents are not ready to keep them during their lifetime because of their health and other reasons, the other relatives would have also grown old. So all these are the questions which arise in every parent's mind, and they want to see that these are things which are taken care. Now we had a meeting, as we say that NIEPID is hamara karta dharta hai NIEPID. So we had a meeting in 2018. Usme Major Ramkumar was also there, and we had about 35 parent leaders who had got together there. It was a half-day brainstorming session as to what are the prime criteria which a residential center should be designed for, and what all are the requirements of the parents. So we tried to consolidate that. What came out, I'll just show it here. The number one requirement from the parents was safety and security. Number two was quality of life and services. Number two was also availability of caregiver. I think हम सब ने बहुत wisely सोचा था, because यदि आज आप देखें, every center in India, whether it is in Kerala or whether it is in Kashmir, every center is looking for caregivers, good caregivers. It's a different thing that because they are not paying high enough, they are not getting caregivers. But the fact is, caregivers are in great demand. Then sustainability and plan for future. This was number 3 factor. Confidence and trust in management. Now this is also equivalent to number 3 factors. And then medical facilities. I think very wisely put up by the parents what came out as their priority list. So how we are going to work it out? Now these, whatever were those 5-6 factors, we have expanded it further. And what we did was, we have listed about 13 centers formally and at least 30 centers informally. When I say formally means we asked them a structured questionnaire. What all you do, how is your structure, who all are your trustees, who all are, how many rooms, how many are staying, what is per square feet area, and all that we have taken from them. And then we have walked around many other centers, and this starts from Kurukshetra down to Kerala. Another thing which has gone, and very important thing is, since 2011, since I came out from my remuneration job in 2011, and I came out with only one purpose. I want to set up a residential center for my son. So naturally my interest was there. After that, whenever I heard there was an accident in any residential center which came to my knowledge, I have done a little informal investigation there. Why it happened. And out of about 20 such instances, 13 had resulted in the death of a resident there. And you will be surprised to know that out of those 13, 6 deaths were because of drowning in water. Whether the drowning was in a swimming pool or in a overhead tank or in an underground tank or in a well. Now I won't blame anyone there, but it was more of a absence of any good rules and regulations in those centers, which they were not following. So that's why it becomes very important that whatever we design here, we are able to design keeping that wisdom in mind, keeping all those learnings, especially from the mishaps, in mind, and then work it out. And that is what this whole book is about, which we are talking about. And today it has been inaugurated. This book was formally kind of opened, and I suppose all the organizations, Parivar organizations, must take this booklet. And whenever you think about setting up a residential center, even in your preliminary thoughts, please consider the factors which are given in this book. So again here, facility and physical environment is talking about emphasis on adequate infrastructure. If you don't have infrastructure, you cannot make sure that the child or the son or the daughter lives comfortably. Similarly, the accessibility and hygiene, very, very primemost factor, and also the suitability for the need of the resident. They should be suitable for them. There is no point creating a, let's say, a Western type of toilet where all the residents who are coming are from areas where they use Indian type of toilets. And similarly, safety and security. Now, here we are really floundering as on date. In safety and security, nobody realizes that what we are, the residents who are going to be there are not the residents with the normal cognitive ability. They may not be able to judge or think or plan. They may get into a trap which may kind of result into an accident. And similarly, management, governance and sustainability. If you want to have a sustainable, यदि आपका रेजिडेंशियल सेंटर आगे तक चलना चाहिए, 20, 30, 40, 50 साल चलना चाहिए, तो उसमें फाइनेंशियल एंड गवर्नेंस डिसिप्लिन तो होना ही चाहिए, उसके बगैर वो नहीं चल सकता। आई एम विद वन सेंटर, निर्धार प्रतिष्ठान, बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है। It comes in the low economic category. We charge about 8,000 rupees per month, providing everything for that person. But the management, the trustees are very strong trustees there. And 60% of trustees are parents themselves, whose brother, sister, or the son, daughters are there in that residential center. So having the skin in that residential center is very essential. And finally, the quality of life for the residents. The trustees and the center must understand what is the quality of life required by the residents. There is no point under planning or over planning for that. Over planning means you are putting, आप पैसा खर्च रहे हैं जहां पे बाद में पेरेंट्स आके बोलेंगे अरे आप इतनी ज्यादा फीस ले रहे हैं पर इसकी कोई जरूरत नहीं, और आप पैसा ऐसी चीजों में नहीं खर्च रहे कि वहां पे सर्दी है and you are not giving them good enough blankets. So हर एक चीज में you have to have and you don't even know that these children will not or these persons will not say that I want more blankets because I'm feeling cold at night. So all these things have to be there, part of the thinking of the management. Next comes about implementation and monitoring. Okay, we have got these standards made. Finally, things are worked out and the standards are made, but how would you implement it? And how would you monitor it? That's important. So, this book which has been made, in fact, I have shown it to the Commissioner for Person with Disability in Maharashtra. He was very happy. He says, "Hame de do ye, give it to me, and I'll put it as the conditions for giving license for the residential center." I said no, because that will become a start of corruption. So let it be a standard which the center should follow voluntarily. It's something like ISO. All the factories and all the industries, they follow ISO standard, but that's totally voluntary. But they can tell their customers, look, we are following this ISO standard. Those who are putting a lot of money for environment conservation, they also tell their customer that, look, we are saving the environment. Similarly, my residential center should be able to say that I am following this standard and this is what is guaranteed for you, guaranteed for your child. So that's why this book has been made, and it has not been given to any government organization. And even if we give it to the government organization, because the outreach of the government is the highest in any country. So even if we give it to them, we'll keep it as a voluntary standard and not as a standard for checking, to be checked by some government official. So it will start off with a self-assessment. There are 10 sections in this book. The first section, which is about safety and security, is compulsory. Compulsory in the sense, suppose out of them, some of them you are not meeting, you can set a time limit for yourself. Okay, next 6 months I'll achieve it. Suppose you don't have a good enough firefighting system there. You say that, okay, next 3 months I'll achieve it. Or let's say your underground tank doesn't have a proper cover. You say that, okay, in 7 days I will have a proper cover and a locking arrangement. So safety and security, there is absolutely no compromise. Rest all the other 9 sections, where they will be assessed from 0 to 5 or 1 to 5. I'll come to that. So that will be the self-assessment and then periodic monitoring. Let the management say that every year or every 2 years, we'll again monitor and see how many are on marks. Because finally you are giving marks. Everywhere you are giving it by 1 to 5. And here, why I put a picture of our great ladies here, they are both mothers and special educators, is these are the people who will really do these kind of assessments. Voluntary assessment again. So please raise your hand, these 5 good, our great ladies, yeah. So give them a big clap, and these are the people who will really take such standards further. I want you to take ownership of these standards. Whichever centers you are attached or you are coming with, please ensure that these are started on. Yeah, thank you very much. The third one is about surprise inspection. Finally, there has to be some kind of surprise where you are able to go and check, or there may be even an incidents. Based on incidents, you may like to go and straight away check what is happening or not happening, what is being followed or not being followed. So that is the third type. And fourth and equally important is, if you have been going through your this self-assessment for, let's say, 4 years, 5 years, then you know where to put your energies, where you should improve, or if you want to extend your center, what all you should do, what all should go into the planning. So these things are going to be very important in the implementation of these standards. Now let's see the standards itself. In this book, like I said, safety and security, there are 23 parameters which you have indicated here. They are very simple parameters. उसमें कुछ भी ऐसी चीज नहीं है जो कि आपको समझ नहीं आएगी. जो भी उसको पढ़ेगा उसको वो सीधा समझ आ जाए. लैंग्वेज सिंपल रखी गई है, टर्मिनोलॉजी सिंपल रखी गई है, ताकि ऑर्डिनरी पेरेंट्स उसको समझ सके और उसको यूज कर सके. Then next one is living facilities. There are 13 standard parameters there. Friendly environment and accessibility. There are 9. Management and governance. Now, management and governance, there are 7 parameters, but in one parameter we are talking about it should have certain policies. आपका जो residential center है, उसमें कुछ policies होनी चाहिए. Protection, protection of children, and here we are talking about adults. ऐसी सब जो policies है वो होनी चाहिए. उसके लिए 4 और दिए गए हैं. Then human resource and caregivers के ऊपर there are 4 standards. Records and documentation के ऊपर there are 9 standards. Financial process, there are 4 standards there, and I'll go through some of them. In fact, some of you have got these books with you today. We'll just go through some of the standards, and just to let you know, आप सबको पता लगे कि ये standards are very very easy to understand. इसमें कुछ भी ऐसा नहीं है कि जो कि ये ordinary parent नहीं समझ सकते. The Last two आप देखिए, though they are the last two in the 10 standards, but they are the one of the most important for them. Leisure and occupation. If you have good leisure facilities for them, and if you keep them occupied properly, you will have lesser of behavior management issues in the center. And finally, dignity and purpose. If they are there, they have to live with dignity there and with a purpose in their life. So these are the standards. Let's go and see some of the standards. Okay. Now, how we are going to actually assess them? Like I said, safety and security, 100%. They have to be. हर एक स्टैंडर्ड जो उसमें है उसको हमें कंप्लाई करना ही है. आज कंप्लाई नहीं हो रहा तो उसको हम एक हफ्ते में, एक महीने में, एक साल में कंप्लाई करेंगे, पर आप ये नहीं कह सकते कि ये इसको हम कंप्लाई नहीं करेंगे. बाकी सब जो है उसमें एक्सीलेंट है 5. यदि you fully compliant, we are giving 5 marks. Very good, that means it meets standard with minor shortcomings which you will make up. 4. Good is 3, where it is basic necessities are being met. Average is 2, basic available but require considerable improvement. Poor is 1. All those who have got their books, please open it. जिनके पास ये बुक है इसको ओपन कीजिए and then we can see. Okay. Now I also put down here, but आप पीछे से देख नहीं सकते. I'll just say it out. I'll just read out the few standards ताकि आपको लगे कि how easy they are and how you can maintain them. Let's say part 1 is safety and security. इसमें है the main entry gate, exit gate, all doors are attended 24/7 unless locked. Resident in and out entries are made. Very important, because I have seen 7 cases where the residents went away from the center and it was not realized for 5, 6 or even 1 day. By the time it was too difficult, one of the residents got run over in the traffic who had just gone out of the center. Then all borewells, underground tanks, overhead tanks, covered and locked. There are 2 deaths. One death has taken place about 3 months back in Thane. So there is another death which took place in my own center. A chap fell into a well. It's in a rural area. So these are all the standards which are here are out of experience, and many of them are out of the, I would say, very, very negative things which have happened. So that's why these standards are there. Then if you go to H, there are no dangerous or live wires which can cause accidents. There is one death which has taken place because of the electrical wire which had been not properly insulated. The girl touched it and got electrocuted. So all such things are there. They are very, very simple. They have to be there. In fact, ये तो घर में भी होने चाहिए. Where the special persons are staying at home, even they should follow these standards for their safety and security. I am coming to part number 2, which is living facilities, and in living facilities, इसमें पहला है rooms have windows and proper ventilation to provide adequate sunlight and cross ventilation. All living and office spaces have adequate ceiling fans. We have been to one center in Mumbai where it was a dorm, 8 persons staying there with only 2 ceiling fans. They were not serving for more than 4 people. I'll go to another one. G, which is drinking water is available 24/7. Water is tested for potability every 6 months. I have a center where once when we asked about 5 years back, when was the last water portability test was done? They didn't know about it. They didn't know about what is portability test to start with. And this is in a rural area. You go to K, pest control carried out minimum once every year, and mosquito nets repellents available for all. We don't have to find out after our children start getting malaria one after another that okay, mosquito nets are required. They have to be provided. So these are very, very simple but most essential standards. Then next one is friendly environment. I will read out one of them because I think I exceeded time. The furniture and furnishings are accessible, appropriate, safe, and suitable. They don't have those edges where a chap goes and hits his thigh. So very simple standards. But take it as a checklist. Go and do it of your residential center today. And if you are setting up a residential center, then do it. Use this for planning your residential center. So similarly, many in human resource, how your human resource should be catered for. Okay, now I must tell you one great story. There is one very infamous residential center which was being run by government of Maharashtra. It is in Mankur. I'll just give you one example. When my wife did B.Ed special education in 1991, they were taken for a visit to Mankur residential center where the orphan persons with intellectual disability are staying. She came back and she could not sleep for 2 nights. What she saw there. Of course, after that, we have PARIVAAR has put their full advocacy in last 10 years, and now they started following. They are not officially following it, but they have taken into consideration. We have seen great results. Their cricket team has come first now in our inter Maharashtra cricket tournament, which was held on 5th of February. Recently, same residential center, the cricket team was the champion cricket team. And this all speaks about how happy they were staying. I'm not saying that only by improving this, their cricket team became a great cricket team, but it also shows how the overall potential and the personality of the person build up when your residential centers are run and well managed for those children. I give you another example where I'm trustee right now, Nirdha Pratishthan, which I said that we run it at 8,000 rupees per month. 40% of the caregiver staff are the residents, the person who came as residents in the center. They have been trained for 1, 2, 3, 5 years to become the caregiver itself. So whatever may happen, we are never short of caregivers because the caregivers are all from our own residents itself. Again, it seemed to be believed how happy they live there. And at 9,000 rupees per month. This is another center, now Shitij, which is near Pune again. As part of their leisure, they go for trekking every 3. Now there is a demand from those residents itself that we want to go for trekking more often. So once you give them facilities, they'll ask for more. If you care for them, they will do much, much more than what we can expect. Now some centers have not taken. These are all the success stories I talked about. I am also talking about many centers which started off but never took off. वहां से भी हम बहुत कुछ सीख सकते हैं. Ego of parents. The biggest hurdle for the development of a good residential center is ego of the parents. Every parent only wants his son or daughter to be taken care. That's why today, in fact, I was describing when we were talking in the car today. I said that residential center should never be part of a cooperative housing society because these cooperative housing societies are famous for being non-cooperative. They should be either a trust or an NGO. that should look after them. Then financial sustainability is not considered. You provide so many facilities, you plan in such a way that by the time your center is complete, you are run out of the fund and the furniture, you don't have money to procure good furniture and the wherewithal to go for actually living there. Then parents not admitting their son and daughter. Now this is a common problem with all the residential centers which have come up in last 5 years. All parents, they want their sons and daughters to go, but nobody wants to send them. I am also one of them. I am with 3 residential centers, but my son lives at home because I feel that till I am there, my son should be with me. But then I am paying full fees for that residential center where my son's place has been reserved. And that is very important for the financial sustainability of the residential center. Then inability of parents to pay high fees. This is natural. Everyone demands a moon, but he doesn't want to pay. So that part. And second line leaders are not coming up. Nirdhar Pratishthan, which I showed you, the earlier one, we have trustees, 50% of trustees are over 75 years age. And I say it, except 2 trustees out of 15 are all 70 plus. So there is a young generation coming up to take the baton from us. But we are hoping, yes, people will come up with it. Okay, so I have talked enough. Now I'll just talk for another 2-3 minutes. What to do next? As parents, what do you want to do for your sons and daughters? Transform him or her into an independent person. It's most essential that your person is toilet independent. He can eat himself. He can be a kind of self-advocate who says what is right, wrong, what he likes, what he dislikes. All these things must come out from your person only when you make him independent at home. Develop a parent group and plan. Don't think that बाकी कोई प्लान करेगा तो हमारा बच्चा भी उधर चला जाएगा. आप प्लान कीजिए, उससे आप बाकी 40 पेरेंट्स को हेल्प कर सकते हैं. Complete full documentation for him and her. That's very important again. As parents, our minimum duty is that all the documents which are required for a person with intellectual disability are in place. And let me also tell you, 80% of the parents don't do that. There is a famous case of a High Court judge of Bombay, 82 years old. His son, autistic son, did not have a disability certificate because he did not know about it. Transition him, her to a group home when you are alive. Otherwise, it will be a double shock to him. The parent is suddenly no more, and then you also want to chuck him out from the. He gets out of the house and into a residential center. So try and adjust him when you are there. I have just given a checklist here. What the parents must do it. So all parents who are sitting here, please take a vow today that next 6 months you will get all these documents for your son or daughter. This includes Aadhaar card, 99% you would have it. Birth certificate, if you don't have it, please get it made. Caste certificate if applicable. Disability certificate, UDID card. Economic status certificate. You may be well off now, but look at your son's condition and see whether it is required. Financial, PAN, very important. Please get a PAN made for your son or daughter. Even if you are a government pensioner, please get it made, because to give family pension to the son today, government looks at his 24 AS, uska income kitna hai. He must have a PAN and file his income tax return. Guardianship certificate, most of the parents lack in that. कब लेंगे, बना लेंगे बाद में, अभी तो हम देख सकते हैं. And finally, bank account. Bank account is again very, very essential. आपको मालूम है, anything which your son or daughter is going to get will only come in the bank. So do that, and I wish all the parents best. We are in Parivar are always here to help you. Whenever you are setting up any residential center, do come back, and we'll definitely help you in what all should go into the center. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. In fact, after this lunch session, Commander Bijur has given a very wonderful, and you can say it's very informative, and that is what we all think about. What after us? It is very exhaustive work, rather research, which Commander Bijur has done. He being in this sector for the last almost 20 years. In fact, I have got not much to comment on his work, but I can add on because I have founded a residential center at Kerala known as Nischinta, worry-free village for about 100 parents. So, taking the lessons from that one, I should say, हिंदी में बोलना है क्या? समझ रहे हैं सारे? हिंदी ठीक रहेगा इंग्लिश? हिंदी तो केरल में जो निश्चिंता करके गांव हमने बनाया जो PW IDDs का लाइफ लॉन्ग केयर के लिए उसका जो भी जानकारी मेरे को हुआ इसीलिए मैं आपके सामने खड़ा हूं जो कमांडर बिजूर साहब ने कहा नहीं है उन्होंने जो सीखा है पिछले 20 साल से और उन्होंने जो काम किया है और उन्होंने किताब के फॉर्म में अभी दे रहा है actually we are all much blessed we have got this we are looking forward in this disability sector for about 20 years back there is nobody कोई भी नहीं था हमें बताने के लिए क्या करना है क्या नहीं करना है अभी परिवार है NIEPID है अभी हमें काफी सपोर्ट मिल रहा है ताकि हमारा सेक्टर के लिए हमारा बच्चों के लिए क्या क्या करना चाहिए इसका जितना भी गाइडलाइंस हमें मिल रहा है हम उसका याद रखना है और हम काम करना है ये यहाँ से सीखे हमारा संस्था में जाके हमारा स्टेट में जाके हमने इसी मुताबिक जो भी रिक्वायरमेंट है अपना सरकार को स्टेट सरकार को डिमांड करना है केयर लाइफ लॉन्ग केयर सेंटर बनाए हमने ये कहना है कि बिजूर सर ने ही बीइंग ए डिफेंस पर्सन सो हमारी ये हर चीज को तरीके से बनाया we in the defense we have got something on a standard operating procedure तो इसलिए जो भी काम करना है एक ही हुक्म से पूरा चलना चाहिए इसलिए उन्होंने कहा सेफ्टी के ऊपर काफी जोर देना सिक्योरिटी के ऊपर फायर फाइटिंग के ऊपर और हर चीज के ऊपर पानी का बिजली का इनफैक्ट दिस डे व्हेनेवर ए न्यू बिल्डिंग इज कमिंग अप उसका सिक्योरिटी उसका ऑडिट कराना जरूरी है इलेक्ट्रिकल ऑडिट ताकि उनका पूरा कनेक्शन ठीक है उनका अर्थिंग ठीक है क्योंकि ऐसा जो सेंटर बनेगा हमारा बच्चा कहीं ऊपर चढ़ेगा या नीचे आएगा देयर मे बी सम काइंड ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिकल शॉर्ट सर्किटिंग कभी कोई हादसा हो सकता है इसी मुताबिक जो सेफ्टी ऑडिट है लिफ्ट में उसको चलाने का तरीका ये सब बहुत अच्छी तरह ऑडिट करके हमने यकीन करना है इसके आगे चाहिए जो हेल्थ का रिक्वायरमेंट है हेल्थ का रिक्वायरमेंट किचन हमने जो निश्चित डिजाइन किया है उसमें कॉमन किचन है क्योंकि हर घर में खाना बनाने का टाइम ना निकले वो टाइम जो है अपना बच्चों के साथ गुजारें हमारा खाना जो है सेंट्रली पका जाएगा ठीक है इसी मतलब कम्युनिटी लिविंग एक अच्छा तरीका है बस उसमें देयर इज एडवांटेजेस भी है डिसएडवांटेजेस है कोई वेजिटेरियन है कोई नॉन वेजिटेरियन है मैंने वो खाना है ये खाना प्रॉब्लम्स है बट जिंदगी वही है कि फेस द चैलेंज ओके तो इसी मुताबिक हमने एक साथ जा सकता है इसके अलावा हमने जो कम्युनिटी लिविंग में जो बिजूर सर ने बताया है आखिरी में पेरेंट्स को गिव एंड टेक एटीट्यूड होना चाहिए क्योंकि वी आर ऑल वन परिवार एक फैमिली अभी दूसरा एक बच्चे का बाप को हमने हमारा तरफ से वी आर थिंकिंग अलाइक दैट इज अ पर्टिकुलर एटीट्यूड देयर इज नो ईगो व्हिच शुड कम इन ठीक है व्हाटएवर यू आर इन लाइफ इट इज देयर बट व्हाट इज योर बेसिक इज यू आर अ पेरेंट ऑफ ए PW IDD दैट इज द बेसिक आइडेंटिफिकेशन वी ऑल गॉट हमारे सबका एक ही आइडेंटिटी है as we are father of a PW IDD that's what we should all forget about you may be a good flyer, maybe a pilot, you may be a big chartered accountant or an advocate, whatever it is. In fact, this is the problem I am facing in the same because most of the people are either professors with the PhDs, engineers, or somebody NRIs, okay, financially well off. So everybody is trying to push on what I say should carry on. It should be done this way. So that should not happen. And Sir has mentioned that no model is perfect. Okay, it is for us to decide what kind of a model we are to make it. In this model, which we have started in Kerala, it is unique. Unique in the sense, it is only the parents and the beneficiary children. There is no management as such. Okay, in most of the cases, there is a management or is a third party who may be a real estate developer or some interested party there as a manager or even an NGO also. But in this case, it is the parents and the PWIDs. So one thing is good. इसमें एक अच्छा है कि हम हमारा बच्चे के लिए जो भी हम डिसाइड करते हैं और हम इम्प्लीमेंट करते हैं, इसमें एक एडवांटेज है, उसमें खर्च थोड़ा कम रहेगा क्योंकि तीसरा एजेंसी होगा तो उन्होंने काफी अमाउंट अपना मेंटेनेंस के लिए और रिकरिंग एक्सपेंसेस ज्यादा होगा और इसमें हम कोशिश करेंगे वो कम से कम हो. ये एक एडवांटेज है. और उसके अलावा ये जो एंटरटेनमेंट, लीजर टाइम, ये सब जो है हमने प्लान करना है और प्लान करने में उतना आसान नहीं है क्योंकि the interest of each individual is different. Somebody may be working, somebody is already retired, somebody may be above 80 years, somebody is around 60 years. So interest varies from people to people. So getting them together is the biggest problem. And I used to say when we started that we all think alike, thinking alike. That is the only string which binds us. Because we think alike in the sense अपना बच्चों के लिए what after उसके लिए हम सोचते हैं, बाकी सब भूल जाना ठीक रहेगा. और एक तो और पॉइंट मैंने नोट किया था, the point why we fail, it is very important. तो सर ने बता दिया है, I am reinstating it. मैं दोबारा बता रहा हूँ. पहली बात मैंने बता दिया है ईगो वाला, दूसरा है हमारा सस्टेनेबिलिटी. क्योंकि जब तक हम हैं, हमारे इनकम है, बच्चे उनके साथ आराम से रहेंगे. But what after us includes not only the living and caretaking part, but the financial support also. So that is very important. We should plan for our financial support of our children after our demise. उसके लिए जो है हमने प्लानिंग विल एग्जीक्यूट करना है. लीगल गार्डियन, सर ने तो छोड़ गया वो पॉइंट, लीगल गार्डियनशिप लिखा नहीं था, व्हाट आर डॉक्यूमेंट्स यू शुड प्रिपेयर. ठीक है, वो लीगल गार्डियनशिप का पॉइंट भी उसमें शामिल करना है. तो लीगल गार्डियन अच्छा, वो भी हमने एक ये करना है. That is not only for common living, for this group living, for each individual also it is very important. Another point is that not admitting. It is a type of mental attitude. जैसे सर ने कहा, I don't want to leave my son and I sit here. Okay, or like even I also don't go and stay in that particular village, Nischinta village. Okay, that not admitting tendency has to somehow we have to eliminate it. But what we are following is out of 100 families we are catering, around 40 have come and they are staying there. तकरीबन 20 है जो महीने में 2 या 3 महीने में आकर रुक के वापस जाएगा या साल में 1 महीना 2 महीना आकर रुक जाएगा. So there are some people temporary residents. But about 40 people are yet to relocate. But about 20 of them are yet to construct their dwelling units, and after construction also some of them are still working, or their siblings are there still studying, so they are not settled, so they are not coming. So that not admitting factor is a very important point. Then of course high fees, I will not comment on this because we have to bear whatever we have to get. Okay, nothing will come free. That maintenance fee or whatever the charges, it has to be done. And second line of leadership is the same thing I am also facing because most of the parents are above 60. And now we have made a policy, anybody new coming, they should be between 40 to 50. Of course, we cannot follow that because 40 to 50 means sibling will be small and they will be in studying or marrying or that time. So anybody after 55 or 60 only will be able to come to such kind of a common living facility. And one thing is about this caregiver training. We also face the same problem of caregiver not available. Okay, most of the parents are going 75, 80, 85. They are not able to give the care to the child or to the PWID. So we initiated a syllabus for caregivers training, and we have conducted 2 courses, and it has got accreditation of ASAP, Additional Skill Acquisition Program of Government of Kerala. So we have got accreditation from the Government of Kerala, and we have conducted 2 courses on the caregivers. Okay, once of course PARIVAAR comes up with or the NIEPID comes up with this caregivers training, we also look forward for the syllabus to compare it. Okay, these are the things I would like to say, and this book, which has been initiated, prepared, and being given by Commander Bijur, will be a big, we can say, roadmap for all the people who are planning to get into a common facility or a lifelong care center, and whatever things which you mentioned already. Like in our center, we have got 3 types of facilities coming up. It is not only the parents are living in the around a 15-acre area. Parents in a small houses, villas of 600 to 800 square feet. Another 50 houses are apartments. Now, once the demise of the parents, these children will be shifted to care rooms. We have constructed a central facility where in a room 2 people can share with independent toilet and all. Care rooms are there. Now, another way forward, people are coming. No, we are not happy with the care room. We want a care home where independent bedroom for the PWID with the attached toilet and an ante room and a veranda, that kind of thing. That also is being planned. But at present, what we have already executed is the care rooms. Now, care rooms is not being utilized presently. अभी इसका इस्तेमाल नहीं हो रहा because all the parents are away. Okay, तो इसलिए हमने इसको okay, one point. We are going to make it into an assisted living training center. We have named it as NACALS, National Center for Assisted Living. So anybody can come, leave the child for 6 months or 1 year, get the training there, then they can go back, even if they are not members. Then we are going to something like respite care, because some parent falling sick, getting admitted in a hospital. So this child can be left over there under the care of a caregiver. So respite care center also is being done. Okay, anyway, I'll wind up. This is, I will talk more because I have already gone through all these particular planning aspects. Pardon?
Their session, Elizabeth's session is there.
Yeah.
So please conclude.
Okay. So I would like to conclude by thanking PARIVAAR National, PARIVAAR Bengal, and all of you for having given me this opportunity to talk to you. Thank you.
धन्यवाद सर, धन्यवाद बिजू सर, and धन्यवाद सुधाकर पिल्लाई सर and our self advocate अतुल कुमार. अब हम लोग थोड़ा फेलिसिटेट करेंगे अतुल कुमार जो को चेयर कर रहे हैं और सुधाकर पिल्लाई सर को.